Helen and Richards are having a blast. They are totally in their own little world. The night city hums outside the cafe window, but inside, laughter fills the air like warm music. The glow from the hanging bulbs dances across their faces. Helen's laughter comes in soft waves. Richard's eyes glint with quiet admiration. They sit close, too close for friends, not close enough for lovers. There's something fragile about that space between them, something that feels like a heartbeat they both hear but never mention. "Promise me one thing," Richard says, stirring his coffee absent-mindedly. "No matter what happens, you'll keep smiling." Helen grins, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "You talk like someone who's about to disappear." He looks at her for a long second. "Maybe I already did." They laugh again, but somewhere beneath the laughter, a sadness hides, waiting. Helen Monroe was 28, living in a small Los Angeles apartment that smelled faintly of lavender and loneliness. She worked as a junior editor at a publishing house, editing romance novels she no longer believed in. Her life was quiet, predictable, safe, and yet, it often felt like watching a movie on mute. She could see everything but feel nothing. Richard Hale was 32, an architect with the kind of smile that carried both charm and ache. He had once dreamed of designing houses that felt like homes, but that dream cracked the day his younger sister, Emily, got sick. Cancer, the cruel word that rearranged his life. He became her caretaker, her anchor, her everything. And when the medical bills began to drown him, he stopped drawing buildings and started selling them. That's how they met, at a company charity gala, where Helen was covering the event and Richards was pretending not to fall apart. A spilled glass of wine, a soft apology, a laugh that didn't feel forced, and suddenly, two strangers became something more, not lovers, not friends, but souls that recognized the same shade of sorrow. It happened one evening, 3 months later. Emily's treatment was failing. The hospital called about unpaid bills. Richard sat in his car, staring at the world as it blurred through his tears. That's when he thought of her, Helen. She was the only person who made him feel seen. He called her. "Meet me," he said. They met at the pier. The waves crashed softly below them, carrying the smell of salt and endings. "I need your help," he said. His voice trembled. "It's not fair to ask, but I have no one else." "What is it?" He took a deep breath. "I need to get married." Helen blinked. "Married, fake married," he corrected. "My company offers full medical benefits for family members. If we were married, Emily could be on my insurance plan. It would save her life, Helen. Please." There was no hesitation, just a flicker of pain in her eyes. "Okay," she whispered. Richards froze. "You'd do that, for her, for you." The moonlight caught her face, and he saw something pure, something that almost looked like love. They married at the courthouse. No guests, no flowers, no music, just 2 signatures, a photo, and a lie wrapped in a promise. Helen wore a simple white dress. Richards wore his old navy suit. The air felt both heavy and gentle, like rain before it falls. "Do you, Helen Monroe, take this man?" She smiled faintly. "I do." He looked at her, a little too long. "I do," he echoed. They laughed afterward. She said, "So, Mr. Hale, how does it feel to be married to a stranger?" He grinned. "Strangely, right. It was supposed to be an act, but from that day forward, something started to shift. They moved in together for the sake of appearances. 1-bedroom apartment, 2 hearts pretending to be one. Helen filled the space with quiet kindness, cooking breakfast, leaving notes, playing soft music on Sunday mornings. Richards began to sketch again, his pencil tracing hope onto paper. Their routine turned into rhythm. Their rhythm turned into warmth. Neighbors smiled at him. "You two are perfect together." And every time someone said that, Richard's chest ached. Because every smile from her felt real. Every look felt dangerous. Every moment blurred the line between what was fake and what was love. One evening, as Helen was folding laundry, Richards walked in. "You don't have to keep doing all this," he said gently. "I know this isn't real." She paused, holding a shirt to her chest. "Maybe it's not real on paper," she said softly, "but it feels real here." She tapped her heart. He wanted to say "me too," but words are fragile things. He stayed silent. Months passed. Emily's health improved. Helen became her friend, her sister, her comfort. For the first time, Richard smiled without pretending. Then came the night that changed everything. Helen woke to find Richard sitting by the window, his sketchbook open, tears sliding down his cheeks. "She's gone," he whispered. The world went silent. Helen crossed the room and wrapped her arms around him. He collapsed into her embrace, grief spilling from him like rain. She held him. No words, just warmth. That night, they shared the same bed, not in passion, but in sorrow. Their hands found each other in the dark, trembling. The power of embrace, that's what saved them both that night. The days after Emily's funeral were grey. Richards walked through life like a ghost. Helen stayed. She cooked when he forgot to eat. She talked when he wouldn't speak. Sometimes, she just sat beside him, saying nothing, because sometimes silence says more than words ever can. He began drawing again, this time not buildings, but faces. Her face, again and again, in every line and shadow. One evening, as the sun set, he looked at her and said, "You've done too much for me. You should go live your life now." She smiled sadly. "My life is here, Richards." He didn't understand until much later what that truly meant. Their fake marriage stretched into a year. Friends congratulated them on the anniversary. Richards started to notice little things, how her laugh filled the apartment like sunlight, how her scent lingered on his pillow, how her touch steadied him. He realized he couldn't imagine a life without her, but the guilt haunted him. She married me to save someone else. So, he buried his feelings. Until one rainy night, Helen came home soaked, shivering. The lights flickered. The city felt far away. She stood at the doorway, staring at him. "Why do we keep pretending?" she asked quietly. He looked confused. "I know what we said, fake marriage, temporary, all of that. But somewhere along the way, I stopped pretending." Her voice broke. "I fell in love with you, Richards." He froze, the words hitting him like thunder. He walked toward her slowly. "Don't say that unless you mean it." She looked at him with tears in her eyes. "I've never meant anything more." And then, for the first time, he kissed her. It wasn't the kiss of two people in love. It was the kiss of two souls who had finally found home. They didn't tell anyone. They didn't need to. They lived quietly, like a secret melody, morning coffee, evening walks, soft laughter under lamplight. Richards began designing again, small homes by the sea. Helen helped him name them. "Each one should be built on love," she said. He smiled. "Then every home I make will be yours. It should have been the start of forever. But forever is fragile." One morning, Helen fainted in the kitchen. Richards rushed her to the hospital, his heart pounding with fear. The doctor came out with that same look he once saw in Emily's doctor's eyes. "We found something," the doctor said quietly. "It's late stage." "I'm sorry." The world collapsed again. Richards felt the floor vanish beneath his feet. He sat beside her bed, holding her hand, pretending to be strong. She smiled weakly. "Now you know how it feels," she whispered, "to love someone who's leaving." He broke down. "Don't say that. Don't you dare." She touched his face. "Promise me you'll keep building homes, even when I'm gone." He couldn't promise. "Not yet." She wrote him a letter that night, sealed in an envelope. "Open it when you're ready," she said. He never wanted to be ready. Helen spent her last weeks at home. Richards filled their apartment with flowers, lilies, daisies, her favorites. They watched old movies. She laughed softly, resting her head on his shoulder. "I used to think love was fireworks," she said one night. "Now I know it's this, sitting beside you, knowing I'm safe." He kissed her forehead. "You saved me first." Her illness worsened, but she never complained. Every morning, she'd say, "Another beautiful day to love you." And he'd hold her, silently praying for more days. He woke one morning to silence. The air felt heavier, stiller. She was gone. Her hand rested near his, cold but peaceful. A faint smile lingered on her lips. Richard sat there for hours, holding her hand, whispering her name. When he finally found the strength to open the envelope, her handwriting greeted him like sunlight through clouds. "Greater than, my dearest Richards. I knew this love was never meant to last forever, but it was meant to be real. You gave me laughter when I'd forgotten how to smile. You gave me a home when all I had was loneliness. Promise me one thing, don't let my leaving take away your love for life. Build homes, fill them with light, and know that somewhere, I'm watching, proud of the man who taught me the power of embrace. Love always, Helen." He pressed the letter to his chest and wept. Years passed. Richards built homes all over the coast, each one different, each one carrying a piece of her. He never remarried, but every house he designed had one thing in common: a sunlit room with lavender walls and a single chair by the window. When people asked why, he'd smile faintly. For someone who believed in fake marriages and real love. At night, he'd walk to the pier, the same place where it all began. The sea still whispered their memories. He'd close his eyes, feeling the wind against his face, and he'd swear he could hear her voice, soft, gentle, eternal. "Greater than, keep smiling, Richards." He'd smile through the ache, because love, he learned, never really ends, it just changes shape. And as the waves crashed softly below, he whispered into the wind. "Greater than, I do, Helen, I still do.